goes. So, welcome. We talked about that bit already. First thing. I'm marking. Here we go. Aims of the session. So, first off, very much just to share a few of the things that your child will be learning in school. I think you've probably heard the things. Maths is different to how we did it, and you'll probably notice children doing things a bit different to how we've done it. So hopefully today will be just kind of a little bit about how we learn maths in school. Hopefully also just to improve your confidence a bit with helping or supporting your child with maths in school as well. And any questions you've got, then definitely fire them this way. And we're actually going to create some games. So it's not going to, sadly, it's not going to be doing pages of algorithms or anything like that. We are actually just going to create some games, so things that you'll be able to set up so that you can take some of them home and you'll have some games to play at home with your child as well. And I'm also going to be sharing some home learning activities as well, which are going to come out over the next few weeks as well. So, first thing, just a bit of research. We love it all on research. But basically, research just proves that high-quality teaching in school is the main key to raising attainment. But all of your role is just as important as well. Is if you understand how your child learns and how they are taught in school, then you can have a dramatic impact on children's outcomes as well. So they can be even more successful in school as well. Okay, so one thing or one program that we run in school is the Mastering Number program. And that's a new national program that's based on research, which is all about something called number sense. So a few examples up on the boards. So first off, recognizing small amounts of objects without having to count them. So this was very much coming away from being able to recognize with the bananas. There are 5 there without children having to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because children can generally sabotage up to 5. Just see the amount pretty easily. They don't have to count that. But then how we can use that knowledge to help to compose numbers. So how numbers are put together and taken apart. So we might think about addition and subtraction as part of that, but it's the relationship with the numbers and how we make them a little bit as well. So we're really focused on children having a really good foundation, and then as they go through the school, when we build on it, it's a solid foundation. We don't have misconceptions. So we might feel we're taking things slower than what we used to in schools, but actually it's really important we get those small things right. I'm going to give you an example of why we might want to do that. The very basic fact of 5 plus 3 goes into 8, but in year 2, we've been using a lot of the fact of 5 tens plus 3 tens are equal to 8 tens. And that's a fact most of the children know really well, that they can just use those facts. They don't have to draw lots of tens out every time, or they don't have to do column addition to solve that. They just know that fact. So they're not having to think about too many things. They can just do that really quickly. Then as they go up through the school into year 3, when we're working with hundreds, roots or thousands, millions, it's exactly the same fact. The children know it. They don't have to count on in ones, they just know that fact. And then same for subtraction. We know 5 plus 3 is 8. So we know 8, take away a part, 3 will give us 5. And same for subtraction tens, but when we're looking more at like year 5, year 6 work, when it comes to decimals, it's the same facts. We're just using the same facts, but just slightly look at a different scale. Okay, so all those different ones. So it builds on. We make them really strong as they're a bit younger, and then as they go through the school, they are confident as they go through. So one strategy that we use, and we're going to be looking at that quite a lot today, and children will be coming in, so we'll do some bits as well, is looking at the numbers 6, 7, 8, and 9, because 5's okay, but actually when we get to that a little bit beyond, sometimes it's that little bit different. So we're going to be looking at the 5 in a bit strategy. So we always start with 5 just because children, as soon as they're born, they kind of got that 5-ness of 5. They know 5 really well and up to 5 pretty well. But we can build on that to help. Like, so if we're making numbers such as 7, I think we've got the dice pattern up there. We've got 5 and 3. So we've got 5 and a bit. The bit is 3. We know 5 and 3 is 8. And they've got that back straight away. They don't have to think about that. And they could recognise that number. You'll see them later. They'll be able to recognise that dot pattern without having to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll be able to see that straight away. Same with the fingers. So same things. We've got the dice button. And then this one over here. Tens frame as well, which you may have heard of before, but we've got a row of 5 at the top and then the extra bit on the bottom as well. So that's quite a big resource that will be coming back in those little packs as well. And as we get stronger, that's going to help them as they start to bridge to 10, which we've started to do in year 2 without them having to count them once. They're just using those number packs all the time. So got a little job. You're already doing jobs. So actually, can I ask a little job before the children come in? Otherwise, they'll get completely. So in your packs, we have got some things. Now there should be. I'm hoping. Yes. Your dice pattern. So if you could cut out, you're going to make some little cards out of those. So I'm not collecting these in, so it's not a cutting exercise, so feel free. But you should have a pair of scissors. There are spare scissors if you need left-handed or right-handed. They are all child scissors, I'm afraid. So if you could cut those out, and the tens cards, and then also what we will need in your pack. I'm going to be using these fancy counters on the board, but sadly school budgets don't quite stretch that far. I've put this in your pack as well, which is going to be, whenever it says using counters, this is double-sided, as close as I could get anyway. Could you just cut out 10? I think that might just be a strip. Yeah, so it should just be one strip. You could just cut out 10 little counters. That would be fantastic as well, please. So we need a set of playing cards and 10 counters as well. Say much quieter than the children. You kind of cut them out all individually, just so you've got them a bit like playing cards, so you need them out so you can play them into cards. That's it, and then just tailor those colourful counters as well. Enjoy this. This is your last few minutes of quiet, and then the children will be coming in as well, so they will be in. And you will also need, actually, before I forget, you will need that sheet out for the first game as well. So you'll need this sheet, a 10 frame, and a dice pattern. And you'll need the 10 counters. might have a big one. I think you've got a big one and a spare one in that pack. Our first game that we are going to be playing is called Copy My Number. So, what grown-ups are going to do is they are going to use their counters and they are going to place their counters into the dice frame. So, for example, they might take a 7 like this, which we talked about 5 and 6. So you might have the 5 and the 2. And then children, what you will still want to see the 5 and a bit. So Alex, if you practice that first off, and Alex, if you can put the 7 counters onto the dice, right? And, oh Alex, I haven't told you this one, but children are really good at this. We use something called sentence stems. So I say, then they say. So, for example, children, I say, then you say. So, 7 is made of 5 and 2. You say. 7 is made of 5 and 2. I say 5 and 2 make 7. You say. 5 and 2 make 7. Okay. And you're doing those numbers, and you use that sentence there and say that about the numbers. So first off, make up it in the size range of the children, make the counts off, and you make it in the tens range. Off you go, and you're ready. Once you've made the first one, then adults throw up, you say, make a new number, and then play the next round. So any number more than 5 up to 10. Okay, so then I make that right in one roll. does not show 7. So I've just lost it off my board. So this is where you are going to need this table that's also your tab. And you will need these kind of domino looking parts. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to ask your children whether it shows 7 or not 7. Remember, we're not looking for the count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are looking for the subsizing. I know it's 7, so for example, line 21 here to tell me this one up there is that 7 or not 7. I'm going to go right to the back, Ivy, so you're going to have to be really loud. Ivy, is that 7 or not 7? So this one up here, you see that there? How do you know it shows 7, Ivy? 5 and 2 make 7. No. You have to kind of add a bit of so we know 5 and 2 that does make 7. Right, so we'll need those parts. The source will be quite quick, but more than talking about why and why it isn't as well. You are going to show your child a number as this, and then children, you are going to pick one of the cards that you have got out that match that card. Okay, so make those numbers. Once you've done it, you can swap roles. We're still looking for that little explanation as to how do we know those numbers, how do we know what those numbers are. Adult show parents cards. counters. And your first step is that what you need to do is, children, you are going to place the counters on the template so that they are all red. So children, you are going to place the counters on the template so they are all red. We're looking at 10, and 10 is quite a major part of the composition of the number that we look at. So we've looked very much at 5 and 6, but now we're going to look a little bit how 10 is made. And it's really important that as we start to get to big numbers, we really understand all those combinations that make 10 and a bit, but then also all the ways of making the numbers a bit. So we've placed all the counters on there. We've got our 10 red counters, and we're going to, so grown up, you're going to turn 1 counter on, and we're going to say this sentence together, so I'll say that we 10 is made of 1 and 9. 10 is made of 1 and 9. 1 and 9 make 10. 1 and 9 make 10. Excellent. So next, we're going to turn over the second counter. So children, turn over the second counter. And we'll just say the sentence together this time. 10 is made of 2 and 8. 2 and 8 make 10. Then we're just going to keep going. So we're going to turn over that third counter, say that sentence together. 10 is made of 3 and 7. 3 and 7 make 10. Keep going now. Yeah. He makes it in native. actually. You've been looking more at difference. What's the difference between the number? And often when you ask a child, what's the difference? They say one's bigger, one's smaller. But we're looking at what's the difference, how many more. And usually you say how many more to make that number. Oh, okay, that's what I need to know. Or how many less even. So, how you're going to start by placing 7 braids open onto your dice tray. And children, you're going to fill the spaces with the yellow counters, so the empty counters, and then saying that same sentence there. 10 is made of 7, 3, 7, 3, 8, 10. Practice now with other 5 big numbers. So it's very much this number. Children need to recognize how many more they need. Maybe still have the 5 bits, so 5 bits on those 2 rounds of make it 10 bingo. So if you come home with a patch, it's week 3, and you basically have a bingo card, and the child will have sets like this, and they'll put a counter. So, for example, what does 4 need to make 10? The children will have to put the counter onto the dice frame. So that's something that will come home in week 3, but still using that sentence throughout them as well. When a few of the next ones are coming in later weeks, I'm just going to show you the games just so you have an idea of what they are when they come home. So we'll be thinking about odds and evens numbers. You may have seen the number box episodes, odds and evens, laptops, ahead, all these different ones. But when we're thinking about odds and even numbers, we're thinking about the groups of 2 within a number. So is it made of just roots of 2? Yes, then it's even. Is it made of 2's and an extra 1? Then yes, it's odd. So those are some of the patterns that we use in school. We can see the groups of 2's. Within there, if there's an extra 1, it's an odd number. Next, there will also be a game where you're going to use small objects to make the number in the tens phrase, and you'll be filling them in from the bottom. So, for example, 4. You might use the counters I've given you. You might use your own small objects. You can use stones, leaves, whatever you want to use. And that will be 1. So make it from the bottom so we can see the 2 and 2 is 4. Make it see 5 is a 2, the group of 2 and an extra 1. Therefore, it's an odd number. That's what we'll be putting out with that game as well. So this is one we can play now. So grown-ups, you are just going to take 10 counters, give them a little jumble in your hands, and then drop them on the table. On the table, how many of each colour, and are they odd or even? We can make 7 in different ways. Sometimes children often guess, and they don't always think, oh, strategy, I'll start with the lowest, then build up to the highest. Sometimes it's a bit trial and error, just kind of get all the ways. But we're trying to get children to work a bit systematically. So, for example, first one we start with 7, and we're trying to see, can you make 7 out of odd or even parts? What do we notice when we're making 7? So first off, we could start, and we could just start by 7, and we could pick over 1 counter, so we could make it 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 4 and 3, 3 and 4, and we could pick over those counters, so we get those different parts, and it's just starting to talk about what you've noticed about those parts when you're making 7. Is it an even and an even? Is it an odd and an even? Is it an odd and an odd? So the things that you notice. So that's a game that comes out in week 5. And then same thing for 8 as well. It will then take you in to start to think about sorting expressions. So an expression is basically an equation. It's just number that you're adding, okay, or subtracting, there's no equal symbol, so when it says sorting expression, it just doesn't have an equals. So is it odd plus odd plus even plus even? So that'll be a sorting exercise as well. Now, these facts that you've got today, they will be going home with you, but what will also happen is you are going to get extra parts to add to this each week as well. So over the next 5 weeks, you're going to get lots of different things, and there'll be bits to come home to help you with those instructions. So in your pack today, this is year 2, week 1, and what you'll get is you'll get the instructions, so you get a little how-to guide like this one. So I think this is going to be played today. So yeah, copy my number 7 or not, and they are just a little set of instructions for you to play. Now, we're saying every day. So the instructions will say every day, but obviously I understand people are busy, we have some clubs and things like that. But as often as you can. So it says technically even just a few minutes, 5 minutes, quick game. They're meant to be fun activities. Hopefully you found them fun today. It's not doing loads of equations, but just a quick bits of task. It might be first activity is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Other activities Tuesday, Thursday. But if you can't fit in, if you fit in a weekend or some other fun stuff, but well, be a little bit flexible. There's also at the bottom some additional activities that you can try as well, just to take on to the next step too. So the next step of that. You will also have in your packs the log here. So this log is just basically for you to add any comments, not looking for absolutely loads, so I can just add a little comment like that after week 1. That would be great. So just give it a tick. If there's something that's not really confident, that's fine. We do lots of these activities for the children in school as well. So we have lots of extra things we're doing to support the children in year 2. But yeah, if you could put a little comment on that as well, and then just whether happy, smiling, really hope, wherever they feel with that one. That's pretty much from me. I'm just going to add some reminders just while you're here. So we'll take week 1 from next week. So I'll give you a few days. I'll put the video online. So, and if we bring this in, if we put it in a homework pack that's coming on Monday, that'd be fantastic. So if you feel free to play games for next week, absolutely fine. So reading books, just a reminder, reading books generally always go home on a Friday. Please, if you can make sure they're back on Monday, because the children have got them in a minute, we know about this week, but we will take them tomorrow. 90 days Tuesday. I have got a list of books that are missing, and I think I've sent some slips back. If you're unsure whether you're on that list, I'm not going to name and shame, but I have got a list here if you just need to double check. If you have, for whatever reason, lost a library book, or you've had a slip to say a library book's been, you've sent it back, but for some reason you've had a slip, you just write a note, and then our librarian will be able to sort that out. It is every Tuesday the library. The last few weeks we've had a bit of a drop off, and it's a really nice chance for the children to use the library. So every Tuesday to make sure children have got that as well. Here is currently on the Thursday and Friday, then maybe change place this term. So please keep an eye on that. And just a reminder, it's pretty warm now, so keep on the short list at the point. Just a reminder about graphic jumper. So make sure it's a graphic jumper free. If you are short of uniform, we have got a uniform spot shop, or just donations. So out just there. If you ever need a jumper, just catch me at the end of the day. It's low, stable, it's clean, good quality, good for the environment. So please just feel free to put an old uniform, pass it in to me, and you can swap over as well. So just a few reminders of that. The homework is this with the pack that you've got. You've got a couple all that I need for now. A few things though. I have got biscuits. So in a moment, please feel free to take your child, and if we do it in an orderly way, that would be amazing. So just wait a second. There's squash, put the squash out if there's any allergens. The biscuits, if you could just check if your child's got an allergy, if you've got an allergy, just use common sense. I've got labels, so you need to double check grab those. And then also, I don't know if your child told you, we have got DT cards at the back, so they're not to go home because they're still working on them, but feel free to have a look at the DT cards that we've been making in school as well. So, one more thing, if you've got a sibling from, like, you've got sisters in year 5 or 1 year group, might say here something like but if you've got a sibling who just wants to pick up 5 minutes earlier, I have that teacher's phone. So if you go around to the door, not politely, then that's fine. If it is literally 2 minutes before 20 past, you wouldn't mind just waiting, but that is fine. Okay? Anything, please come and see me. Take the home. If you've got any questions, please well, we haven't actually finished. We'd like to actually get the work actually well without all the pieces. That would be amazing.